Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Red EDC. Well, out on the back deck tonight. It's a little bit of a warm one today. The room's a little stuffy up there, so we're going to be out here for this one. But our good friend Have a Knife Day asked us, what does budget mean when it comes to knives? Well, that is extremely subjective. You could probably ask 5 different people and get 5 different answers. Because, honestly, it just really depends on the person, obviously the person's financial situation, and, I know that's not surprising to any of you, but he asked the question, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. So, budget, for me, in my current situation, we'll say, I'm kind of torn a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I do believe less than 100 is budget, but I kind of lean towards less than 75. And has that changed in, we'll say, the 7 years I've been doing this? Yeah, absolutely it has. 100%. Probably when I started out, if I can remember, I'm pretty sure I was saying a budget knife was less than $30 back then. And, it'll change. Not only does it change person from person to person, but it'll change probably in a single person's life maybe more than once. Like I said, at one time I would say it was probably less than 30. Then it probably went to less than 50. And, I'm kind of torn between that less than 100 and a less than 75. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I would definitely say less than 75 for sure. And probably even less than 100 in my current situation. But I actually did a poll last weekend on SKL, and I'm sure I know some of you were there and answered the poll. And I just wanted to kind of go over the results with some of you that weren't there. So when you do a poll in the live stream chat, you can do 4 answers. So I did less than 100, less than 75, less than 50, and less than 25. And it pretty much went right down the list as far as that goes. So 39% of people, now there was 121 votes. There was 121 votes. Out of that, 39% said less than 100 was budget. They consider a knife less than $100 budget. 34%, so it's close. It was close. Less than 34% said less than 75. 21% said less than 50. And 4% said less than 25. So, right there. If you just take, like I said, you can ask 5 people and get 5 different answers. Well, we had 4 different answers up there, and we got 4 different answers. We had 4 different choices and got 4 different answers. So, it really is. Now, could that change again for me? I don't think I'll ever consider anything over $100 a budget knife. That just doesn't seem realistic. And not only for me, but I do try to take others into consideration when I think about stuff like that. Personally, maybe that's where I'm at. Personally, I'll say less than 100. Maybe community-wise, I'd say less than 75. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that. But, I know what I would like. I kind of ask a question inside these videos. I would love it if you leave a comment down below and let me know what you consider budget. And it doesn't have to follow these parameters. It doesn't have to follow these parameters at all. If you would say less than 60, then say less than 60. If you say less than 40, do that. Say less than 20. It's your idea of what budget is. And, you know, nobody should really influence that. I am definitely not trying to influence your decision at all. I want to know what you think a budget knife is. If it's less than 15, okay. Right on. But let me know down in the comments. I think that could be really interesting. And I'll try to keep these numbers, and I'll kind of compare the two, you know, and just see how it falls out. But as I said before, I don't think I could ever consider anything over $100 a budget knife. I just don't think that's realistic. And, you know, getting to that age, you know, getting older, beats the alternative for sure. And, you know, I sure hope to retire one day, and enjoy what I've worked for my whole life, as I think most of us do. And, you know, once that happens, obviously the income stream will not be the same. So could my idea of what budget is change again? Absolutely. It 100% could. You know, I may go back to, hey, you know, I don't have as much money coming in, so less than 50, that's a budget knife. Who knows? Who knows? But not only does it change from person to person, but it can also change, you know, more than 2 or 3 times in a single person's lifestyle, depending on their situation. Absolutely. You know, we've had some very, very good friends go through some very hard times. And I'm sure that influences their decision. I mean, you know, we pretty much had to buy a new car. Well, we didn't have to buy a new car. We had to get a different car. I'll put it that way. You know, so, you know, that can have an impact on what? Any life-changing event could have an impact on not only what you consider budget as far as knives, but what you consider budget and affordable in your life, period. Right? Maybe you stop shopping at Whole Foods and go shop at Winco. I just say that because those are Whole Foods is the hoity-toity store out here, and Winco is kind of the budget out here in the Pacific Northwest. So, but you know what I mean. It is a very, very subjective topic, and I give you my thoughts on it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on what you consider to be a budget knife. Where's that cutoff? Where's that cutoff for you? Greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm going to sit out here and enjoy a little bit more of this very, very nice evening. A little stuffy, but very nice. Very nice evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.